Hello, and welcome to a LEGO Harry Potter set review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a set from 2018. This is set 75956, Quidditch Match. Being a 2018 set, this is one of the first wave of the revived Harry Potter theme, and I think it's a very nice little set. It's not the first time I've had this set. I bought it very close to when it came out in 2018 or 19, and then sold it. I had a little sort of mini Dark Age, as it were, where I did sell quite a few sets, and I've now been working to get them back. A lot of them have gone into my Hogwarts castle, and this is one of the ones that I didn't get my hands on. Now, this is now a retired set and goes for a decently high-ish price on the secondary market, and partly for that reason and partly for a reason of space, I didn't think I was actually going to get it, but I saw it recently on Facebook Marketplace for just £15 with all minifigures and all parts, and I really couldn't pass up the opportunity. And I think with a bit of rejigging I'm going to be able to fit at least half of a Quidditch pitch into my Hogwarts mock display. But enough of that, let's take a look at the set as you get it. We'll start by looking at the figs. Here we've got the Gryffindor players. On the left, obviously Harry with his short legs, and then on the right we've got Oliver Wood with full-length legs. They both share the same torso, and that's a very nice Gryffindor Quidditch player print. It is printed around the back as well. If we just move up their capes, these are the soft modern variety. Underneath you'll see a print for a hood, which is a shame it's hidden, but at the same time it means it's usable without the cape. They both come with double-sided heads. Harry's is the standard one that we've used to seeing in quite a few sets. In fact, I tell a lie, Wood does not come with a double-sided head, and his head is not exclusive or anything. It's a fairly generic print, but I think it suits his slightly stern character quite well. These figures look good. And of course, we get some accessories with them. I've just left them behind here. So we do have a golden snitch. We've had this in a couple of sets. More recently, the first flying lesson set, which I did a review on. And also the Draco Malfoy Series 1 collectible minifigure also came with one. And of course, both Harry and Wood get their brooms, which are just the standard Lego piece. And you can't play Quidditch with just one team. So on the opposite side, we have the Slytherins. On the left, we've got Marcus Flint with his big toothy grin, and then on the right, we have Lucian Bowl, who I believe is one of the beaters of Derek and Bowl. Indeed, he comes with a beaters club, which is just a black telescope with a black Baraki eye on the top, which is actually quite an effective and well-scaled accessory. They're very similar to the Gryffindor team in that they use the same torso with some Slytherin prints this time. It's, again, very similar, but in a dark green with white legs, both full size this time. In terms of alternate faces, we get one for Bowl and not one for Flint. I think that's because Bowl's head is more generic and Flint's is more specific to this set. Obviously, both come with hair pieces and also both come with their brooms. We get an extra accessory with Flint's broom, which is a little stud shooter, which has got a quaffle on it. So that's just a red minifigure head. Both get with black brooms here, so you could say they're the Nimbus 2001s, although if this is based on Philosopher's Stone, that's a little bit inaccurate. Okay, on to the final two minifigures, and they are Snape and Hermione. These are fairly common variants. They came out in a couple of different sets, but it's nice to get them again here, and they are important for the scene. Just get you in focus there. Again, standard Hermione with the short legs and generic Gryffindor torso, and Snape comes with two expressions, an even angrier expression on the reverse, and Hermione has an afraid expression, and you'll see why they're important to the set in just a moment. So, those are the figures. Considering I got this second-hand, they are all in very decent condition, and I'll be happy to use them in my displays. Right, on to a couple of little side builds, and then the main build. Like I said, you get the snitch, brooms, Slytherin brooms are off screen, beater's bat, you get a few wands. I believe in the original set you do get wands for all characters, I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, here we've got 2 wands for Hermione and 2 for Snape, which might actually be everything you get. It's also a spare quaffle, which is these 2 pieces just here. Not sure if that is included in the original set, but I got it in my second-hand copy. Got a small small trophy, on a stand, just made up of 2 pieces, just a normal golden trophy, which is obviously representing the Quidditch Cup. And then here we have a small trunk, or pirate treasure chest, and inside there are just some black 1x1 round plates, and these represent bludgers. I've actually seen in later sets that you stack these up, so 2 equals 1 bludger, so you could easily do that, but there are actually 6 of these in total, so a couple of spares, and that's more than enough to keep you going. Right, that is it for the little side builds. I'll just tilt up and you can look at the main build. Obviously, this is only half a Quidditch stadium, so we've got 4 towers and 1 set of goalposts. I think this was actually a very clever move by LEGO when they released this set, because if you did want a full stadium, you could just buy 2 sets, swap out a couple of faces for the players, and you would have a much more full Quidditch stadium. It's actually really good for me. I'm going to be basing my Quidditch stadium very heavily on this. I haven't got any concrete plans. I picked this up yesterday on a whim, so I need to finalise what I'm going to do for my mock. But it's good because half a stadium works perfectly, as I can have half on my display and then half off into the background. It's a technique used in model railways called half relief, or low relief either, where you model part of something and assume the rest of it is off screen, or off site, as it were. So, you know, in terms of space, saves a whole bunch, and you still get the idea of a Quidditch stadium. Starting on the left, we have got Slytherin. This is probably the most generic tower overall, although it does have a hidden feature. You can see we've got some stickers on the front representing the Slytherin colours, although it's mostly brick built, and that looks pretty decent. The colour choices are okay overall. Obviously should be silver for Slytherin, but I think light bluish grey works just fine. You can see some Technic holes on the side with a Technic brick. You can swap this out. At the moment, the Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw towers are actually attached to the goalposts, but you can take them apart and swap these out instead. The hidden feature on here is just this. If I can get it to work, there we go, a little flame that pops up. The intention being that you see Snape here and have Hermione using her spell to conjure flames and distract Snape from cursing Harry, or is he? No Quirrell in this set, important to point out. That's just a simple Technic mechanism activated on the back with a little gear. You can obviously remove that if that's not important to you as you play with it. Coming over onto the right, actually, just because it's the other standalone tower at the moment, we have the Gryffindor, and this is built a little bit differently. The sides are the same, but then the actual centre is all built to swing, so it's a door frame with a piece of clear glass with a sticker on it, which the previous owner has put on a bit crookedly, so I might use Robin Hood Brick's patented hot tea technique. I really need to ask him for that sound effect so I can use it when I steal his ideas. So yeah, the idea is you can put a player on a broom and then you can have them fly through the stand or through the tower as Harry and Draco do. And they both do it in Chamber of Secrets. But anyway, you can push the player through here and they come out the other side. It, you know, doesn't really work. If you throw him at it, he just bounces off. So yeah, it's a nice little gimmick anyway, and it makes the detailing a little bit different. Interesting colour choice here again with the regular red and yellow. So they should be a slightly darker red, and gold are really the Gryffindor colours, but you know, it's a good compromise. And again, brick built construction overall with the flag on the top. Didn't mention on the Slytherin stand. Right, we'll just sweep this stuff out of the way. So as I mentioned, the Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw towers are actually attached to the goalposts at the back. We'll talk about the goalposts in a minute. Starting with the Ravenclaw tower, this is probably the other most simple tower. In fact, it's probably even simpler than the Slytherin one because it doesn't have any action features. The only thing that really differentiates it is this megaphone off to the side. This was actually one of the pieces that was missing from my copy of the set that I got secondhand, but luckily I had a spare. Not really a big deal. So yeah, just a standard tower, not really any extra details around the back, but the idea is that this is the commentator's tower. No Lee Jordan in the set, or even Luna Lovegood that you could use for later films or later books, but it's nice nonetheless to get that nod towards commentating. Coming across to the other side, we get the other half of the commentator's booth, as it were, which is the scoreboards on the Hufflepuff Tower. Again, this is brick built. They're all very, very similar. Once you've built one, you've really kind of built them all, with the addition of some Technic bricks with Technic pins with studs on them, and those are to hold on these pieces just here. These are actually the pieces I used for the buffers of my Hogwarts Express mock, but you get these and you get a spare one inside there, so you can keep track of the score. Maybe each of these represents 10 or 50 or something, and then around the back we've actually got a small storage area formed using a couple of panel pieces where we've got 2 extra of these stickered tiles, one for Hufflepuff, one for Ravenclaw, because on the front we have got tiles showing that it's Slytherin versus Gryffindor for this match. Obviously, you don't get any Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw players in this set, and in fact, there are only a couple of ways you can get those uniforms. One is in Diagon Alley, where there are 2 shop dummies with 1 of each, and then there's a book, I think, with a Cedric Diggory minifigure in his Hufflepuff outfit. So yeah, you'll be hard-pressed to get a full team of either of those, but I'm sure some people have done it. And then moving on to the final part, we have got the hoops. This has a nice mechanism in the middle here for a keeper to actually stand on these transparent pieces. It's actually a transparent headlight brick there, and he can be flying there and moved from side to side so he can cover all 3 goal hoops. It's just a very simple mechanism, just using a Technic axle through there, and actually it's quite good in that if you move it too far, there's a pin inside there so you can keep moving the handle without actually damaging the other pieces. It's very easy to straighten up. The weakest point of this set is probably the way the hoops are attached. The hoops themselves are quite cool. They use these rubber tyre pieces in pearl gold, which are held in place with one of these bars with clips. But then the actual posts that hold up the stands are just on single studs. In fact, the middle one is on a jumper. So if you accidentally knock it, they are going to fall. There are Technic beams behind them there, or Technic lift arms, which means it's a little bit harder, but they can fall over quite easily. Just got to be careful, and to be honest, it's about as strong as some of my mocks, so I can't really complain. Last feature to show you is just a small stud shooter off to the side here, just a standard handheld one in a 2x2 jumper piece, and this can be used to fire bludgers at opponents. Right, that was a very rushed look at this set, but I thought I might as well just go over it since I've managed to get it recently. It's a fun little set, and I can imagine people having a lot of fun trying to shoot the quaffle through the hoops using the stud shooter here. Indeed, can I get it through on camera? No, I can't. I'm rubbish. But anyway, that's the intention. You can have a little game, either just one person playing or maybe 2 people playing against each other. Hopefully in the future I'm going to be mocking this into something a little bit better, but for now at least it's going to be a good placeholder on my Hogwarts display. So there we go, that was finally some more Harry Potter related content after a long run of Star Wars content. There is more Harry Potter coming, including Hogwarts updates, both the castle and also some bits associated with Hogwarts, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you don't want to miss that, then please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications. I'm also now a LEGO affiliate member, so I have a link which I'll put in the description. If you're feeling like buying any sort of LEGO, especially for Christmas, then if you click on my link, it costs you absolutely nothing, and I get a small commission if you make a purchase. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed, leave a like and a comment, I'll get back to you, and until next time, have a good one. Bye.